Hello and welcome. My name is Alan, and today I am going to talk once again about the stupidity of conspiracies. There were multiple magic bullets in Kennedy. We never landed on the moon. Global warming's not real. I've got several websites that say so. People, that stupidity makes me want to smack the flying. Okay. Anyway, let me tell you a little bit here. The Kennedy assassination, one bullet. You follow trajectory from the book depository where the vehicle was. If Connolly was in his jumper seat, slightly down, slightly to the left, it follows through the back of the skull, out the neck, into Connolly's shoulder, out the chest, into the leg. That's where they found the bullet pieces. It's not magic. And people will cry, pristine bullet. It wasn't pristine. Slightly smashed on the front, with rifling marks indicating it had been fired. Simple facts, simple science. It wasn't a conspiracy. As a matter of fact, we know, as per all Marines, Lee Harvey Oswald was tested. He was good enough to, I think it was a 212. His second time around he was tested, he had a 191, which still put him at the, let's see, let me see where it was. It was, I think, the rank of sharpshooter or marksman. But yes, Lee Harvey Oswald had the training as a U.S. Marine to hit the mark. All simple scientific facts. Not hard to understand. Again, the moon landing. People say, we never landed on the moon, it was on a soundstage. Well, number one, we know it would take more money to fake it than to actually do it. We did not have the technology to fake it at that point. And so we have landed on the moon. It wasn't out of the possibility that we practiced and funneled the money into a project of going into space. We went multiple times afterwards. People say, well, the last time we went was 73. That's proof. NASA, quit going moon. Why? Well, the main reason we stopped going to the moon is you're only going to figure out so much because we learned no atmosphere. We knew a lot of this before we even sent the people to the moon. And it was an extremely expensive operation to operate. So we focus next on the ISS, the space station. Because, I mean, honestly, what else you going to learn from the moon? It's gray, it has no atmosphere, it has a quarter of the gravity of Earth, thus the ability to hop. We already knew this. We got samples. But what else were we going to learn from the moon? Oh, they're secret moon men. No. We had learned a lot of the moon just from observational, work. But going there, we went there, we discovered the um, gravity, a lot of what was going on, we was able to verify no air, no atmosphere. We took samples back, moon rocks. Honestly, there wasn't a lot to do. The need for another trip just wasn't needed. So the next thing we focused on, space station. But people don't want to acknowledge that. But yes, we landed on the moon. Why would we fake it? Maybe to throw the Russians off? But honestly, there's no real proof to show that we faked it. People keep trying to bring these things up, but each one is debunked. We landed on the moon, people. I mean, the ideas of a conspiracy may be like, that's even better. No. I'm going to tell you something right now. Conspiracies, the majority of them are false. Every now and then, just by pure chance of number, you're going to have a correct one. But it's going to be a rarity. I mean, I'll acknowledge that just by pure chance of numbers. There's likely going to be a correct one in there. Can't tell you what. I don't know. But the fact is this. Most of your conspiracies are going to be false. They're going to be interesting thoughts of what could be. But for the most part, their falsehoods. Another one people like to bring up: vaccines cause autism. Or, they're implanting you with these things in vaccines. Number one, the whole idea that vaccines cause autism, it came from this one person. His study has since been proven to be false. To have not used good scientific principles when coming to his conclusion. And since we have many other studies showing that it's wrong. But people want to cling to this stupid idea it causes autism. It has no verification that it does. Vaccinations prevent you from getting measles, mumps, rubella, polio, smallpox. These are all proven. We had more or less, polio driven out of the country, and now we're seeing signs of goddamn measles and mumps. They had been driven to a minimum numbers. You even got me. I hate people. Especially stupid people. Vaccinations work. Period. There is no maybe plausibility that it causes, all the autism and all these fears. Vaccinations are just very weakened forms of a disease set into the body so the body understands, okay, this is a weakened form. Pop, pop. We're able to beat up on it and defeat it. Let's learn from this idea that, hey, we've defeated this, and introduce other ways to defeat it into the body. Memorize this, body. This is how you defeat this. This is how you defeat that. That's the idea of vaccinations. That's the only thing that's being put into your body. Weakened forms of these viruses. So your body is able to beat them up. Because at full strength, we cannot. But with a very weakened form, the body goes boom, boom. Smallpox was more or less eradicated by introducing a very weakened form of its, viral cousin, cowpox, into the body. The body was like, bump, bump. We know how to defeat this now. Keep it on record. Releasing the proper white blood cells and everything. Again, science, people. Science. Follow science. Common sense science. I see people releasing websites to try to prove their point. You know what happens? I research these websites. I research the authors. A quick look, a Google, a research, and I find these sites are all bull. They're crap. Most of the authors are paid spokespeople for their point of view. Their crap is falsehoods. Case in point, someone brought up a website by this person saying, these are all these cases of different weather and climate in history. Turns out, yeah, you research the guy, he's the paid for shill for the climate companies, or the fossil fuel companies. There are no climate companies. That's another thing that bothers me. There's some idiots who think scientists are so rich that they can pay to have a conspiracy spread about global warming, that climate change is a spread idea of falsehood. Oh, God. I hate stupid people. I we know climate change exists, and it was a human-caused event. Even the fossil fuel companies fucking know this, because they got documents showing it. Exxon from the 70s and 80s had fucking documents showing this. But what did they do? They ignored it because it interferes with their financial bottom line. Why do you all not realize it's the fossil fuel companies? They're getting money they don't want to give up. Even though they're screwing over our future. Climate change is real. It uses the same science that verifies burning a damn piece of coal will produce energy. That's the same damn science that verifies, hey, climate change is happening, dumbass. The same science. You can't have one without the other, jackass. Breathe, you're getting worked up. Anyway, I hate people, especially stupid people. Again, I'll give you this. Out of pure numbers, there's going to be a conspiracy that's real. I think they're interesting at, as heck on what's presented. But at the end of the day, they're easily debunked. Do your research. Google things. Don't just follow one website or one author because they verify your suspicions or feelings and help you dig into these conspiracies. Science, people. Science. Learn to science. Learn the science. I am pleading with you. We can't keep going on with a stupid society. It feels like it's more in America because the rest of the world has already accepted science as the primary indicator that, yeah, this is why these things happen. Why is it America, the largest damn country, that we have, it feels like we have these idiots science, it don't have a belief system. It don't have choices. It is simple facts. Whether it is observation, tested through scientific method, through, numbers, there is a variety of ways to confirm science, people. Science only wants one thing: the facts. If you want to say science wants something, that's the only thing you could really say it wants: the facts. Science, as always, educate thyself, especially after a video like this. Science, history, think, read, study, learn. History tells us even the false articles tell us something about the time, about what was the fears that they would write such falsities. Science tells us this does this, does this. Just because one thing happens doesn't mean the other thing has to occur. You know, it just means this happens. Use your science, people. True science. Anyway, I'll see you all again in the next video. But until then, later.